Cheers to adulting.
Hi!
Hey everybody!
I'm Ashley Badajas.
And I'm Abby Rosemarin.
And this is
Cheers to Adulting.
I just spilled out my drink. You slurped that real good.
But then I had some issues swallowing, so.
Speaking of swallowing.
All right.
Our episode is all about sex.
Let's talk about sex.
Oh, I thought you were going to just like baby. Let's talk about you.
And me.
Let's talk about
all the good things.
and the bad things.
That may be.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Anyway. I think that we'll be fine on copyright on that one.
Yeah.
I was not in tune at all on that shit, so we're good. We're good.
So today we are drinking some gin toddies because we're both kind of sick.
Yep.
And I still have a shit ton of gin.
And gin is a wonderful, wonderful liquor, so.
And if you listen to episode
2? I think it's number 2.
Yeah, episode 2, we talk about the different uses for alcohol.
Which includes some really wonderful things with gin. Gin is pretty much the wonder alcohol here.
For sure, for sure.
I'll try not to slurp this time.
Jinx. All right, so let's talk about adulting or non-adulting.
Sounds good. I mean, I'll start because mine's definitely a non-adulting. It's a little shame on the me.
Shame on the me.
On the me.
Shame on the me.
Once a come and a go, shame on the me. Oh man, we haven't even gotten to the sex portion and we're already going downhill really quick. But no, lots of shame on the me. Because as I mentioned in the last episode, 5 of my classes are off my schedule right now. That was a third of my teaching schedule. So, think about your 9 to 5. Imagine getting a third of your hours cut and still not getting your adulting shit done. Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. The last couple of weeks, and I will give myself a little bit of leniency. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and I'm definitely one of those people where if anything is happening in my life, housework is the first fucking thing to go, and that's really what it's been. And it's been a lot of times where I've kind of looked and went, okay, the laundry's backed up, the kitchen is a mess, this is bullshit. I teach
bullshit.
This is bullshit. This is some bullshit. This is some weapons grade bullshit. I teach 9 classes a week now. What the fuck? But that has been my shame, and I'm kind of embracing that. Like right now, it's just really hard for me to adult, even though my work schedule has been slashed and I have more time to adult. But it's also taking a step back and recognizing I might have more time to adult, but at least over the last couple of weeks, I haven't really had the mental, emotional, and energetic bandwidth to adults. And sometimes that's okay. And then eventually you just get back into the swing of things, you do the damn thing, you get the damn dishes done, which is what I did this morning. And you fucking do it, kid.
You fucking do it, kid.
You fucking do it, kid. And you pack your car and have it, yeah. That's what you fucking do. Anyways, how about you? What's your adulting / non-adulting?
It's kind of a combo. So, because we were going to record last Thursday, but life happens.
Yep.
So mine, I was going to talk about, so I actually saved something for the podcast.
Oh my God. She saved it for the podcast.
I know. So last Monday, I went to a class. It was or it was more like, not a class, more like a seminar, an informative seminar on how to get into voice acting. I've been wanting to do some voice acting for a long time, so it was like it was pretty informative. And there's like a company that helps you do some training and what have you, and like studio time. But it's like not to like be boastful or anything, I don't really need the studio time, and they kind of like, I'm still trying to figure out if it's a scam or not, or whatever. It's just like, but it was informative to where I can figure out, because I know enough. We have equipment, and I have the things, and it kind of inspired me to be like, maybe I should like take the leap and buy microphones that are like super nice and take some of the, you know, strain off of Patrick.
But you mean not our sad entry-level little podcasty microphones that we gave up on like by episode 8?
I know. Well, at the same time, I feel like it would be better if I went ahead and bought an interface. But that's like a whole thing. Long story short, the non-adulting that I did into, so I started to feel sick on Friday, so I decided to stay home. And it was like, I could have gone to work, but I didn't want to take any chances because I knew that I was starting to get sick. And I was like, well, I can do some adulting. I didn't do that much adulting.
Yeah.
But I ended up being able to feel well enough to hang out with some friends.
Heyo.
And then today I decided, because I woke up like having to blow my nose and coughing, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather blow my nose and cough at home when, you know, if I was my employer, I'd be like, just go back home.
There we go.
And it was like, sure, I could pop some Mucinex and like, you know, power through the day, but I'd rather just do that at home. And I thought I would be more productive today, but I really wasn't. But you know what? All in all, I was adulting by staying home, not getting other people sick. So yeah, like if you can afford to, stay home if you don't feel well.
And that is an episode. The number is kind of blanking on me right now, but we talk about this shit. Like we recognize how tough it can be if you have a job where you really can't take the day off, whether it's financial or your bosses.
I think it's like 3 episodes ago.
It might have been 3 or 4, something like that.
It makes me happy that we're starting to not.
Right? Like, it's not just like this one episode that we did, y'all. Like, we reference the booze one, like, all the freaking time, but it's also booze, so...
And like, we're a boozy show.
Yeah, we're lushes on top of being sluts.
Yep.
What's up?
What?
In the butt?
So, on that, we're gonna get deep.
We're gonna get very deep.
Yeah. We're going to talk about sex.
Baby.
We're not going to go on that tangent again. So, Abby, I think it would be great for you to start us off with something about sex.
I would love to get us off.
Yeah.
Right on camera, everybody.
I feel like this is going to be the punniest of episodes.
This is going to be a dirty, sexy, punny, fun show. Y'all are in for a treat. So I think a really good one to start off such an episode, especially a sex positive episode, is to talk about this article that I found. So in my research for this particular podcast, I came across this article. Now, first and foremost, as those who've listened to the podcast or watched it on the YouTubes, I deliberately do this shit, by the way, guys. I deliberately say things like the Facebooks and the YouTubes, so you're just gonna have to deal with that shit. I kind of have issue with the internet research article, if you will. Like, sorry, Deborah, drinking 2 glasses of wine before you go to bed is not going to help you lose weight. I'm sorry that the article told you otherwise. So we are. I'm going into this already being like, okay, you're science, but you're quote unquote science. And this is from Maxim. So let's forget a grain of salt. Like, take the whole fucking salt shaker with you and just sprinkle that everywhere. So what I found was this article that's about 3 non-vanilla sex acts that might actually make your life better. So for those who don't know, vanilla just basically means the kind of the average, the day-to-day, the
missionary.
The missionary
girl on top.
Exactly, heterosexual or actually even homosexual, monogamous, like you two in bed, lights out, y'all do your thing. Like, it's not, there's nothing fringy about it.
Yeah.
Like,
which is nothing wrong about it.
Exactly. And again, we are some sex positive sluts up in this bitch. Like, and by that I mean we have this wonderful puppy dog who's hanging out with us. We're wonderful sex positive sluts with this bitch, right? Our guest bitch, our guest star. So a non-vanilla sex act, that's going to be a little more of the fringy stuff.
A little BDSM.
Exactly, which is the first one on the list.
Is it spanking?
It's no, BDSM in general.
Oh, okay.
So they say the reason why they say BDSM would actually make you happier is according to this particular study. And before I even talk about the study, I'm going to say that a lot of this might be correlation and not causation. So for those who don't know what correlation, not causation means, read a fucking book, you uncultured swine.
Oh my God.
Elitism up in this bitch. But what I mean is, aside from read a fucking book, you uncultured swine, is two things can happen at the same time.
You
it doesn't mean
sassy as
I am
fuck
sassy
today.
AF.
Jesus.
I got my slut life shirt on. Like, y'all who are not watching the YouTube video right now on the YouTubes, and you're not seeing this slut life shirt, I'm sorry. This is something that my husband got me after the last episode where I kept talking about being a raging slut with him. Slut life.
The life.
No, but correlation, not causation, means two things can happen at the same time. It doesn't mean that they cause each other. A great example is, crime rises the same time ice cream sales rise. It doesn't mean ice cream causes the crime. There's a third element involved, aka it's the summertime and people are outside more, and so crime is up, but also people are buying ice cream. So I can't stress that enough. These things might not actually cause each other. But with BDSM, those who embrace the kink were less neurotic, more secure in their relationships, and had a better time dealing with rejection. But again, if you're the type of person who's down with, a little bondage, a little spanking, maybe you're pouring some hot wax, maybe you're getting a little kinkier than that, maybe not, you're probably in a secure place. You're in a good place in your relationship. You understand communication. You're
Consent.
probably, yeah, exactly. And I can't stress that enough. The BDSM world, consent is a huge fucking thing. Like 50 Shades is not BDSM. And this is coming from somebody who isn't even in the BDSM world. Like, even I recognize that 50 Shades is not that fucking lifestyle. But anyways, the next one is casual sex, which apparently casual sex is considered non-vanilla. So, hey, get down with your bad self. For those who engage with it, have a better general well-being, lower stress levels, higher self-esteem compared to those who follow the relationship sex only rule. And again, that could be correlation, not causation. If you're in a place where you feel secure enough that you can, you don't need to be in a relationship to have sex with somebody, maybe you're also somebody who just has a better sense of well-being. The last one, and this is the only one that I don't think, I think it could be correlation, not causation, but I think it could also be causation, not just correlation. And y'all who didn't know about this shit before, like, this is gonna be drilled into your head. Like, you're gonna be going to sleep going, correlation, not causation, correlation, not causation. And you're just slightly less uncultured now, you fucking swine. But the last one is open relationships and polyamory. So they say couples who are in open relationships are way happier and way more fulfilled than the naysayers of open relationships and polyamory. They say one of the secret ingredients to a successful relationship is communication, which is where a lot of traditional couples fall short. Polyamorous couples have a relationship built on honesty, trust, and obviously openness. There is no lying, there's no sneaking around. And if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. If you're in a polyamorous relationship, you're going into it understanding that you're going to be attracted to other people. You're probably going to even have romantic feelings towards somebody else. It's not a secret. So when that happens, you kind of just turn to your partner and you're like, hey, I'm checking out this person. They're really hot. Or hey, I've been dating this person for a while. I think I'm really starting to develop deep feelings. And there's no like sense of betrayal. Like, how could you be in love with this other person? And there's no secret affair because like, oh, I have this attraction. I have to do it behind my spouse's back. You talk about it. And likewise, and this is where the correlation, not causation part might come in order to be polyamorous, in order to be in an open relationship, you have to have high levels of trust and honesty.
And communication.
Or you're gonna fall fucking short, kid. You're gonna break up real fucking quick. So again, so I can't stress enough, this is an internet article. This is not science. This is quotation marks science. Science, bitch. But you don't have to do BDSM. You don't have to do casual sex. You don't have to be in an open relationship if that's not what you want. But if you are in a place where those are the things that you're exploring, those are the things that you want, don't feel bad, because, we don't even need this article to say that those non-vanilla sex acts aren't going to be a detriment to your life if you are going about it the right way. But it is nice to have an article that says, hey, maybe those non-vanilla sex acts, maybe they're helping you out a little bit. So that is my first bit of the sex. How about you? Tell me some about your sex research.
I just wanted to touch on that a bit and talk about a little bit of my experience or my friends or whatever, without getting too, personal. Definitely, I've had a past relationship where I was allowed to have another boyfriend. In that particular relationship, it worked because we were both busy and, being open and honest about it. And the thing is that I believe you can totally be in love with another person at the same time. And at the time, it definitely, was the case for me. And it was healthy and open and honest, and it worked for us. And I know lots of other people that it works for them. Exactly. As well as for BDSM, for example, I have a friend who, she got really into the BDSM community. And she said she felt more comfortable with consent and saying what she wanted and what she was comfortable with. And she was able to express, what she wanted. Yeah. And it was really healthy for her and her sex life. And the thing is that you never know if your other partner might be curious about certain vanilla sort of things. Yep. So it's have the conversation, be open and honest with your partner about things you might be curious. Yeah. And it might help your relationship. I mean, regardless, it's going to help your relationship to be honest about things that you're curious about sexually, things that they might be curious about sexually, things that they might be too embarrassed to admit that they want, certain fetishes. Be open and honest about it.
Exactly. And I mean, that's the thing. You don't have to be the type of person who wants to do any of these things. And it's perfectly okay if your partner, you tell them about what you're interested in. Maybe they're into it, maybe they're not. I personally believe that you can build intimacy out of that. Even if it's hey, I'm into this really heavy duty, kinky sex. And it's that's really not for me. Maybe we'll play with some handcuffs or something like that, but it's not for me. Even that can be...
You can find some middle ground. Maybe,
exactly.
Throw a butt plug in there.
Throw a butt plug in there. When in doubt, everybody, throw a butt plug in there.
Pat, help me remember. Title for the episode, throw a butt plug in there. When in doubt.
Right? Oh, goodness.
I think from there, a good segue maybe of throwing a butt plug in there, maybe.
Right?
Orgasms.
Yeah, baby.
Let's talk about orgasms. So, orgasms, they're wonderful, right? No one can deny it.
Right.
They feel great. We should start off every day with an orgasm.
I cringe every day I don't start off mine with one.
And I'm totally fucking serious. So, we're gonna get real personal. Oh, I forgot to put... I meant to put a disclaimer for anyone who, for example, my brother Christopher, I love you. He listens pretty regularly. He's behind a few episodes. But if you definitely don't want to hear this, you probably don't want to hear this.
Skip ahead about 10 minutes, all right?
It's just gonna be so. Or maybe the whole episode.
We'll catch you for episode, 12? We'll catch you then,
right,
buddy.
We'll see you then.
Sorry.
Well, this is 12.
Oh, shit. 13. Oh, we've made so many episodes. I'm losing track. Yay.
All right. So I got a small waterproof vibrator that I fucking love. It lives in my shower. And I can't recommend this vibrator enough. I don't have to charge it very often, but when I do it, like you just separate it and it just like plugs into any sort of USB port.
Nice.
To charge. It's Crave is the maker. It's their Duet vibrator. So anyway, it lives in the shower for the moments that like I happen to shower in the morning, and I'm like, all right, this is in here.
Hey,
this could
get
happen.
a little clean, get a little dirty. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
why wouldn't you want a rush of feel-good hormones in the morning? It's just going to make everything seem a lot better.
right, the day's going to be brighter.
You're going to be less grumpier. Yeah, so orgasms, highly recommend it. I mean, like, if you happen to have a partner that, you know, wants to do it in the morning, like, even better.
Right? Morning
Although,
sex, baby.
Yeah, like, at the same time, though, like, sometimes anybody got time for that. Like,
right, like, you got to get ready for the day, and
they got to brush their teeth, or they might be gone before you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with, like, going solo.
Exactly.
Gotta get yours.
Right?
Get mine. With orgasms, according to an article, I mean, it's not the most, I could have sourced another, but I know a lot of us have heard enough statistics. According to an article on ABC News, about 75% of all women never reach orgasm from intercourse alone. That is without the extra help of sex toys, hands, or tongue. And 10 to 15% never climax under any circumstances. Yeah, that's fucking like too real.
That just hurts my heart and my vagina. Like.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So I didn't have an orgasm until my early 20s. And in fact, I remember my first vibrator that I owned, two of my best friends in high school, they like knew that I hadn't had an orgasm, and they're like, no, we're gonna make this happen. So they decided we went into a sex shop together. They bought me a glow in the dark vibrating dildo. Because they're like, if Ashley's gonna own anything, it needs to glow in the dark.
Go big or go home, man.
Like, never use it though, because it's just ridiculous.
It is. Well, I mean, yeah, and now you have your awesome duet, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I got my Hitachi one.
Right, like, you are set.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had a lot of conversations with other women, friends in my life, who admit that it wasn't until their 20s that I had an orgasm, or maybe they still have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like too often. And the thing is that a lot of women don't, it's harder. Like, it's harder for women to orgasm. That's like fact.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're not comfortable with our bodies. We don't know a lot about our bodies.
Right.
Some women have never some women aren't into porn, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I am.
Hey, to each their own.
Lesbian's my category.
Right.
I'm
picky, I've noticed. Like, I'm very picky about what I...
Like, lesbian, threesomes, romance, sometimes hentai, whatever.
Hey,
whatever.
Whatever your bad self.
I mean...
if it's good enough for
we're being sex positive, right? I'm not gonna lie.
If it's good enough for Dean Winchester on Supernatural, it's good enough.
Hentai sometimes, is fun.
And you're welcome, Supernatural fans, for that one.
You're welcome. I'm gonna have to definitely share this among the whole Supernatural fandom.
Yes, whatever it takes, get us those frickin' viewerships.
What was I saying?
Orgasms in women, it's tough because we're kind of shamed. We don't know our bodies. We don't look at them and we're shamed to want physical pleasure.
So it's and you know what? All right. So as I was doing my research, I saw some disturbing, stories from doctors talking about how some women don't know that you have. How many holes they have, and that you don't.
Oh no!
Yeah, that you pee from a different place from your where the penis goes in.
Oh no!
It's a different hole. If you don't know that,
if you don't know,
shame. But take a mirror.
Right.
Look at vagina if you haven't.
Explore yourself.
For sure. Your clitoris is different from your pee hole, different from your vagina. Mm-hmm. I feel like it sounds silly to say these things.
Some women don't know this stuff.
And then your anus is in a different place too.
Yes.
It's so magical. And your clitoris is like an iceberg.
It's just
I'm fucking serious. Your clitoris is like an iceberg. The majority of it is hidden.
And also you can see the Titanic.
I got a huge clit. I can see the fucking Titanic.
Iceberg. I'm laughing too hard. I want to sing Celine Dion right now, but I'm laughing too hard. You're here, there's nothing.
Oh my god, we lost Abby. Abby's gone.
I've been fucking gone all day, man.
You've been gone all day, man.
It's been a fucking day. I needed these laughs. Trust me on this one.
Day.
We lost Stan Lee, y'all. Let's put that one out there.
I meant to R.I.P. Stan Lee.
Right. So yeah, it's been a day, and that laugh was needed. Trust me on that one.
So, orgasms. So there is an amazing website. The first time I heard about it was because of Emma Thompson,
one of them.
The Hermione.
Yeah.
Watson.
Emma Watson. She advocated for it. So it's called Oh My God Yes, or omgyes.com. It's informative and educational about helping women orgasm. It's not like a paid subscription. You have to pay for it to use it, obviously. And it gives you 62 videos. And the thing is, some of them are interactive. And it's not like pornographic. So it's tasteful, and there are like real women talking about like their experiences of learning about their bodies and orgasming and learning about themselves and figuring out what feels good for them. And so they have, one of my favorite things is, so they have women that talk about certain types of what's good for them. And they have interactive videos to help you figure out how to do it on yourself, but you do it on this own person's vagina in a video. So it's like, they have little like bubbles that you touch. They show you like where you touch or how you touch it. And the person narrates it, the person whose vagina it is, and they're like, oh, a little slower. That's good. Yeah. But it's not like gross, especially if you're like not into women. It's not gross. It's almost like a game.
Yeah.
It's trying to show you how you would do it on yourself. And she'd be like, yeah, that's right. Or like, maybe faster. Or like, no, I don't like that, she'll say. And you'd be like, okay. And so it goes from, they just like touch on a lot of things, from edging. If you don't know what edging is, Google it. It's exactly kind of how it sounds. To different rhythms, like if you like consistent rhythms, if you like inconsistent rhythms, you like that surprise, to, yes, multiple orgasms.
Oh, fuck yes.
If you haven't had, unfortunately, I can't say that I've had many instances of multiple orgasms, but when I have, fuck yes. Multiple orgasms.
They are a wonderful thing, trust me on
They're
this one.
a wonderful thing. So fucking good. Oh my God, yes, amazing. It's not that expensive. I forget, I think it's like $40, $35 to $40 for 62 videos for the whole, they call it like season 1.
That's not bad at all. That's, yeah. You would pay more for a DVD box set of, I don't even know, Friends.
Yeah,
So-
and the thing is it's like extremely informative. A lot of ways that like, especially if like, it might be, maybe it's not too hard for you to orgasm. You might learn a different technique to do that. So yeah, orgasms, wonderful. So if you haven't had an orgasm, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's so common. It's too common. It just means you need to practice.
Yeah.
And talk to other people about it. I think too often people make sex talk to be a taboo topic, and I personally think it's fucking ridiculous. Although I think everyone should, feel comfortable, and I never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. But the thing is that by us not talking about sex, it's hindering sex culture in America. And I think that's something that needs to be amended. If you haven't had an orgasm and you're in a relationship and they don't know, tell them. It's not necessarily has to be a fault on their part, and it's not necessarily your fault. It's just that you need to explore opportunities to orgasm. And that just means you have the opportunity to play and figure out how you need to orgasm, what feels good for you. Mm-hmm. And you just need to tell them, and it might be a fun adventure project for you guys to work at, to, you have a goal that you can work together to get to.
You have an goal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're, bisexual, lesbian, straight, whatever, you and your partner, if you haven't had an orgasm, talk to them, be open and honest.
Yeah.
Also go visit ohmygodyes.com or omgyes.com.
And mind you, they are not paying us a single cent to say this. This is a yet more free promo we're giving people.
Free promo. Also, maybe check out some porn. I mean, obviously you're going to need to do some proper searching for what's good for you. Mm-hmm. And I prefer something that seems more genuine. I did find from, I will always plug, My Dad Wrote a Porno. Speaking of plugs.
Yep.
My Dad Wrote a Porno. I learned about a new porn website. That apparently is not affiliated. Apparently there's some porn mogul who's not that great or whatever, that it has all the, usual Pornhub and YouPorn or whatever. A good one apparently is X Hamster.
X like the little furry guy?
Yeah, like the little fur guy.
Oh no.
X Hamster.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm not going to forget that name, but I'm also very scared now.
Yeah, well, there's some fun ones that I found, some that it looks like they're actually enjoying themselves and not putting on a show.
And that's a thing for me. When I talk about being picky, I can't really handle 90% of porn because it's I'm putting on this wonderful act. I'm so sexy right now. Look at me right now as I suck this cock. And I'm no, you're not enjoying it. You're doing this for the camera.
Yep.
I just get I want to watch.
It's a turn off.
It's an extreme turn off. I want to watch the woman genuinely enjoying herself, genuinely having a good time.
And if porn isn't your thing, because you see so many of that, if you didn't know, there are romantic, it's called romance or romantic categories geared for, and there is porn geared for women that, they want to see that sort of thing. It's out there.
There's a pot for every lid, everybody. And a porn for every viewer.
Yes. And on that note, let's go back to you.
Right, and that's actually fitting because what I'm about to talk about is basically there is a pot for every lid. Apparently, I'm just going to keep going down the more fringe route because that is the research that I did. So I'm going to be talking about the different sites for different vices. So these are the sex-positive sites or apps for the non-vanilla people. Because again, the beautiful thing about the internet is it reminded us that we're not alone. If there is something out there, I know, I feel like I had a moment of X-Files that I'm not alone.
That's literally where my brain went, yeah.
I want to believe.
You picked up on that.
I want to believe in sex and multiple orgasms and the clitoris. What?
Yeah.
I believe in all of that.
Who's the female? Mulder or Sully?
Oh, goodness. I think it is Mulder. No, it's Scully.
Scully? The female.
The female, the redhead.
The female actress,
the beautiful
Gillian,
redhead.
whatever her face is. She's bisexual.
Oh, hey.
What? Team bi?
But anyways, we are not alone. We want to believe. Really, if there's anything out there that you enjoy, you can find a group, you can find a website that also enjoys it. It really doesn't matter how fringe you are. For crying out loud, we have My Little Pony fetish people, aka the bronies.
Bronies!
If they can have a thriving subculture, there's hope for everybody.
Yes.
So, That being said, if there are routes you want to go down, there are things you kind of want to play around with.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I was about to say, I'm like, should I add in the play part, but the play pun, but then I didn't. And then that's when Ashley came in and saved the day. So the first one I want to mention is FetLife, short for fetish. This is considered basically the Facebook of the BDSM and the kink world. It's a social media platform which allows people to make their desired fetishes known to the community. And that can really run the gamut, whether or not you're like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who just wants to blindfold me and spank me, to like fucking like.
I got a weird one.
Oh no, tell me.
Which I heard about on My Dad Wrote a Porno, the last Footnotes episode.
Oh no.
So, because they were talking about like weird fetish, because the thing is that it's so. The internet's convoluted with so much porn. Yeah. And so they have to like get interesting and find those little niches. So there's this one guy, they refer to him as the stamps guy. The stamps guy, who he has this he had this extensive like stamp collection. I'm pretty sure it was stamps. And he paid for them to make a porn, quote unquote, of just like hot women like destroying his stamp collection.
Okay, like.
Yeah, like stepping on them, lighting them on fire.
Dude, whatever
there
it takes,
is
buddy. Like
a fet for everyone.
There is a fet for everyone, and there's somebody who will gladly consent to that fet / wants to do that thing too. So
also, if you want to pay me to do not things that involve me being naked, that's your fetish, I will gladly take your money for like setting your stamps collection on fire.
Right?
Sure.
Like that is what, like, I especially with my time as a model, I got approached for some weird fucking shit, a lot of foot fetish shit.
Yeah, I got approached by the same person who approached you for a foot modeling fetish thing.
Just no go. And like and other weird stuff too. Like I had some guy approach me, he wanted me to like sneeze on camera. I'm like, just I'm out. Fucking no.
Shit. I don't care how much you pay me. I'll sneeze on camera.
That was just a little like, I mean, everybody has a price tag. If you pay me a couple million.
Mine's not high.
Apparently, I'm a very expensive slut. I'm sorry.
I'm desperate for money.
But on that note, other sites include alt.com, bdsm.com, bdsmsingles.com / and not slash. That's a comma, not a slash there. bdsingles.com / Fetster. No, Fetster is its own website. So those are different websites that you can kind of check out. If you are in a relationship, but you're looking for that third wheel, if you know what I mean, right? You're looking for your unicorn, kid. I don't know why I had to go all Bostonian on that one, but we're fucking doing it, kid. You're gonna pack your car and have a yacht and find yourself a fucking unicorn, kid. Anyways, one of the places you can look is called Thrinder, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is Tinder for threesome people. It's originally conceived as a way for hooking up threesomes, but it also quickly evolved into a dating marking place. Marking
your territory.
Right? It's not a marketplace, y'all. It's a marking place.
A marking place.
That's a little more for FetLife, everybody.
Yeah.
But it's a market / marking place for all kinds of sexual fetishes. Another place, this is a website, this is 3Fun. That is for threesomes, but it's also for swingers. And that actually gets me into the next category. If you are in a relationship and you're looking to swing, you're looking to do the wife swap thing, there are a lot of websites. And it's actually very interesting when I did the research, so some of the websites include Swing Lifestyle, Quiver, Cassidy, but here's an interesting thing that I found when I went on to swingershelp.com, which is actually a really fascinating site. Like, yes, this is a swingershelp.com. It's a thing. All of these sites are very regional. And they really shouldn't be, because ideally they're all international websites. But apparently when it comes to where people sign up, it is very regional. And it makes a lot of sense because all these websites are paying websites. You actually have to pay money to be on them, which, you know, kind of makes sense. Like, you don't want to be like, you don't want somebody to just kind of sign up on whim and then like shit gets
Get a bunch of creepers.
Yeah, like nobody needs that shit.
Yeah.
So as a result, you're going to only sign up for the websites where, you know, your people are. You're kind of like perverted Ariel. Like, I want to be where the people are. I want to see their
vaginas.
That works too. See them fucking, see their vaginas, you know, fill in the blanks there. And also we'll take a moment to pause and you can make your own sexual joke with the fill in the blanks there part. But on swingershelp.com.
Now all I want to do is just like come up with a song for that.
I know, right?
Want to see their partners, taking them out and let them swap.
What's the word? Swap. Out on the bed, getting some head.
Yes!
Getting naked with other people.
What's
That's
that
right.
I hear? She won't go down near.
Part of her world. Oh, this is such a hot mess and I love it so much. But if you go to swingershelp.com/popular swinging dating sites, it actually breaks it down in terms of regions. So you can find your city, you can find what websites are popular, and then you can be like perverted Ariel and be part of their world. Oh, I'm going to be thinking about that. Like, I'm going to be thinking about
life for life.
Right. I'm going to be thinking about Swinger Ariel, and I'm going to make up this damn song, and it's going to happen.
Swinger Ariel.
Swinger Ariel.
I feel like that would, but it makes me think of like that you do Silk's Ariel.
Oh yeah, and
I feel like if you made one wrong like type in your Google search, you're like,
Ariel.
oh, well, I mean, while I'm here,
well, you know,
might as well.
Right. I mean, you know, there's got to be an area in FetLife for that. Like, I'm gonna tie myself up in these silks, y'all, and we're gonna be part of this world.
Yep.
So while I'm busy trying to make that song in my head, let me throw it back to you.
All right. So I don't want to have a warning or whatever. Let's just get fucking real. All right. Let's talk about period sex. Yep. We're gonna talk about periods.
Mm-hmm.
Get real.
Deal with it.
Yeah, Pat. Talk about periods.
Time to put on some sunglasses. Deal with it.
So, if you're not embarking on sex on your period, let's change your opinion. Your period.
Let's change the period.
Fuck you both. Let's change your opinion. So
You're a period.
You're a period. So I know in my early 20s, it was something I didn't do it. All right. I was like, ugh, gross. Now I've grown up and I know that I shouldn't let a little blood get in the way of my orgasm. So studies show that it's good for you to have sex on your period. It can help with those dastardly cramps that are Satan's punch to your pelvic region. Not to mention, orgasms will also make you much less more miserable about the fact that you're having your period. If you're worried about messing up your sheets, just put a towel down, all right? Fuck it. You can invest in the largest, coziest motherfucking bath towel that you could designate for that time of the month.
Right.
All right? I'm thinking white is not the preferable color for your towel.
That one's not.
Also, if shower sex is the thing you're into, do it when you're on your period. All that water and stuff, you're getting clean, it's gonna wash away. And the thing is that you don't bleed. I can't stress this enough. You don't bleed as much as you think you do. Mm-hmm. So many women
feels like it,
Yeah.
but it's really not. Like, if you think about how much a tampon or a pad can actually hold, like, it's really not that much in the grams. It is not the pitcher of blue water like the
It's not the pitcher of blue water.
like they make in the freaking commercials. Like, look at how absorbent it is. It's like, no, you're not.
Also, those products suck. So anytime you're like leaking is because they suck.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's like fucking soaked.
Nope.
It's just, it sucks.
Right? Like, to be totally gross, I cannot remember the last time it was like, oh, I leaked, and it's also because it was sodden. No, it's because it fucking sucked.
Future episode, we'll talk more about periods if you want to hear about that. And I'm going to
keep an ear out for that one, huh?
Yeah, menstrual cups and period panties and how they will make your life so much better. Yeah. So, shower sex. You know, what better time to have sex in there but when Shark Week is on your channel? Did you know that having sex on your period could shorten your period?
Oh.
I know.
What? Yep. I did not know this shit.
So according to flexfits.com, the contracting of your uterus during orgasm can sometimes speed up the shedding period of your uterine lining, which means your 7-day-long period, I'm glad I don't have that long anymore.
All right.
It might shorten it by 2 or 3 days. All right. That's fucking game changing.
Ball of shit.
So orgasms are basically a superpower.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That being said, make sure you're taking necessary precautions as necessary to make sure that you aren't making some sort of blood baby during that time of the month.
Yep, just because you're on your period, it doesn't mean you can't get pregnant.
Exactly. So sperm can live up in your uterus for up to 5 days.
Holy shit.
Yep. So, like, if you're near the end of your period, you could still get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you don't let one of those fuckers give you a shocking surprise. Also, it may be obvious, but if you think it's gonna be an issue, you need to make sure that you're using protection. If you think STIs is gonna be an issue, maybe your partner has herpes. I think it's 1 in 7 people.
It's
something
really
like that.
freaking common.
A lot of people have herpes. It's not a big issue. If they have it, I'm sure that your partner is a lot more informed about when they have breakouts or whatever. You know, whether you're on your period or whatever, make sure that you're using protection. So STIs. And then also, fucking game changer. I'm going to talk very briefly about menstrual cups. So I haven't used it personally yet, but Intimina, I've used their cups. They have like little compactable menstrual cups that like literally can go in like a tiny carrying case the size of a I don't know what's that the size of.
Bratwurst maybe? I don't know.
Like larger than a dollar coin. Larger than a dollar coin. But it's like a case that size of your. Anyway, so they have a cup out that you can wear while having sex.
Nice.
It's flat and short, and it just goes up there. You can still get it
Flat,
out.
short, and just goes up there. Sounds like my ex.
But so yeah, fucking game changer, because it's like nothing's more of a boner killer than when like things are starting to get hot and heavy and you're like, I gotta go to the bathroom and dick out my menstrual cup. Ooh. Yeah, so if I don't have to say that, it's gonna make things a lot more smoother.
All right.
So yeah, Intimina. And so orgasms and period sex.
Right.
Period sex. Do it.
Do it.
If you aren't, do it.
Let's see. I think basically the last thing I've got is just kind of the kind of a 2-parter PSA. The first is y'all get yourself tested. Like, for real, if you are having multiple partners, if you're engaging in any level of casual sex, every 6 months is ideal. And honestly, even if you only have one partner, it is still a smart move to do it every once in a while, especially if you're having any type of unprotected sex with that one partner. Ideally, if you're in a situation where you're with that one partner and that partner is only with you, you know, there would never be an issue. You guys get tested once before you guys have sex and that's it. Life is messy. Your partner might not be faithful to you. You might not be faithful to your partner. Get fucking tested. You know, There are a lot of places you can go. You can see your gynecologist. You can go to Planned Parenthood. They're still funded. So for now, knock on wood, they're still funded. There are clinics around that you can get tested. Just please do that. And the last thing I want to kind of touch upon is that sex positive doesn't mean you have to be having sex. So this is actually something, as I was doing the research for this, even with all my like fringe topics, I got to thinking about college. And, in college, I really didn't mess around all that much. I definitely hooked up with some guys, but then I met my husband basically towards the end of my freshman year of college. And like, that was it. Then I was just a raging slut with my then boyfriend, now husband. And I remembered they would have sex week every year. And there was always this feeling of, oh my God, you people who are not having sex, or oh my God, you people who are like in long-term monogamous relationships, what are you doing? You're so boring, blah, blah. Like they would release this like sex positive magazine, and it was painful to look through because it basically was like, what are you doing, people who have sex with exactly one person at a time? And the same way, no shame if you want to do BDSM, casual sex, open relationships, swinging, threesomes. The same way there is no shame if you want to do those things. No shame if you are in a monogamous relationship. No shame if you don't want to have sex.
Have sex how you want it.
Exactly. Whether that is no sex or like all the sex. All that matters is that everyone involved is fully consenting.
Yeah.
That is it. So you can be a fully sex positive individual and be completely asexual. Like sex does not interest you at all, and you don't have to do it, and you don't have to feel ashamed that you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be shamed for. I had someone close in my life admit and come out to me and other close friends or relatives, I don't know how to phrase it, that they were asexual, and they had sex partners, and it wasn't that they're not attractive or whatever, or they can't get it. They could, and they realize that it's not for them. They don't like sex. They're not sexually into it. They tried it, and it's just like they are definitely asexual, and they're happy on their own, and that's okay. You can get fulfillment other ways, meaningful friendships and what have you. Yeah. If you're not into sex, that's definitely, it hasn't fully been integrated into LGBTQ thing, but it is in there. And, it is talked about a lot more about, asexual people. It's a thing. I think Tim Gunn, he identifies as asexual.
And there's honestly nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, we're talking about all sorts of different ways you can be having sex and different ways you can explore your sexuality. But you know what? That's not your cup of tea. Awesome.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you want to have sex with a complete stranger and not see them ever again, that's totally fine, as long as you're both consenting and you're using protection.
Exactly. Be smart. That's the other thing too. If you're not only getting tested, like just practice safe sex, for fuck's sake. Practice safe
that's
sex.
like the only kind of shaming I will do.
Yes, is when it's like, oh, I'm sleeping around and I'm not going to use a condom. It's like, okay.
It's like, oh, yay, you're sleeping around. Get it, girl. And then I find out you're not using protection. I'm like, come on, man.
Come on. Yeah. Now
that's how you get the clap.
Exactly. Get the clap. Get the clap. Walking around with the, what's it called? Clap.
What's it called? Oh, it burns. Chlamydia. And then herpes.
I must go to the clinic.
Pee on a stick. Oh, hope I'm not pregnant.
Should have wrapped up that dick. We should be on Who's Line. Like, I'm just saying, not the Who's Line that's actually on TV, but
the erotic one.
Oh yeah, exactly. We're gonna start our own erotic Who's Line. What's up?
So to wrap it up, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, if you want to help us out, take some strain off of our pockets for hosting on our sites to make this podcast stay free and what have you.
If you want to pay us to do it.
Or really just like help pay. Patreon, you can go visit us. Cheers to Adulting. Please access all of our social media, as well as if you want to watch us on YouTube, go to YouTube. Cheers to Adulting. You'll find all of our videos. We're on Facebook. Cheers to Adulting. We're on Instagram.
Cheers to Adulting Podcast.
We're on Twitter, but we never use it.
Cheers number 2 Adulting.
If you want to email us, ask us questions. Tell us what a shitty job we're doing. Right. We don't care. Just talk to us. Right? Cheers to Adulting at gmail.com. You can listen to us. I mean, obviously, you're listening to us, so you found us. If you are an Apple person, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, on iTunes. It'd be great. Leave us podcast rating.
5 stars only. Any less we find you, we kill you.
All right.
All right. On that note,
cheers.
Cheers
to Adulting.
To Adulting.
I gotta pee so bad.
Cheers to Adulting.